day I saw an ad for a 2021 M1 MacBook Pro for $120. It was being sold for parts, so my first instinct was, oh, this thing must be stolen and iCloud locked. In the description, the guy said that the screen is broken, but the computer does output video to HDMI. What also confused me was the fact that this guy was a top-rated seller, and he had been on the platform for around 4 years. Scammers usually use burner accounts, which get deleted in a few days, and they usually have ads for like brand new unused machines for ridiculous prices. In my experience, they don't really tend to sell parts machines. So I started talking to him, and he basically said that this computer came in a lot from a business and that he had no experiences working on Apple computers. He told me that there was an account he couldn't get into, but also that there was a guest account, and he had sent me a screenshot of that. That had basically told me that the computer probably wasn't iCloud locked. So since the guy was local to me, I just decided to take the chance and buy the computer. So the next day I went to meet with him, and the guy was super cool and honest and basically told me that he was a reseller, but he had no experience or interest in reselling Apple products. So my hope for this machine was that it only had a broken screen, so I could use it with an external display. But I had no idea whether this computer had any other issues with the graphics or the motherboard or anything else. I also had no idea about the specs or the exact configuration of this machine. So I hooked this thing up to my external display, and just like the guy said, there were two accounts on this computer. There was a guest account and also the main account, which was password protected. So I just started poking around, and after doing some research, I've rebooted the computer into the safe mode. From there, I was greeted with a familiar looking screen offering to restore the computer using Time Machine, but also to reinstall the operating system. So I clicked on that just to see what kind of an SSD was installed on this thing. And once I did that, I began to realize that I was dealing with a pretty high-end machine. This thing had a 1TB SSD, which was about 8 times as much as I had on my previous MacBook. I just bought this computer on a whim, thinking that it was some sort of a scam or that there was something majorly wrong with it, and I just couldn't believe what I was getting for $120. So anyway, this thing started reinstalling the operating system, but it said it was going to take something like 3.5 hours, which at the time I didn't have, so I just canceled the installation until I had the time to deal with it. So before actually reinstalling the OS, I wanted to wipe the SSD. Once I did that, I just started installing macOS Ventura using the built-in online installer. Once the installation was done, the computer rebooted, which was kind of nerve-wracking because I couldn't see what was happening on the real screen, and my external screen went dead. So I was panicking for a while because I thought the computer died or something. But after a couple of minutes, the computer came back to life, and I was greeted with OS Ventura splash screen.
Okay. Oh my God.
Again, excuse my moaning, I was kind of excited at the time. So I went through the usual sign-in process, and after a couple of minutes, I was greeted by the macOS Ventura desktop.
Oh my God. What the hell?
Okay, so I guess it's time to explore this thing. But this is legitimately the first time we're going to be taking a look at the specifications, and I'm not sure what we're going to find, because this particular model has several configs, so we'll see what I have.
What the heck? What I do? Jesus, man.